Hey guys, I hope everyone's doing good. We're going to be doing a video on T.O.E.S today, which is a war procedure that mid and end game alliances often use to make sure that their final clear in competitive wars is fast, efficient, and reliable. So let's get right into it. What does T.O.E.S mean? T.O.E.S means to leave 2 rooms on each side, right? 2 on each side. Except the buff rooms. Obviously, one clear the buff rooms, make everything easier. That's medbay, hangar, armory, and barracks. Security, likely to be cleared along the way to ease the difficulty in clearing buff rooms. Now, different alliances will have different opinions on the effects of engineering. That's up to you guys how important you think engineering is to clear. Let's look at an example. So in this example, they're digging down the center. They go left side flight deck 2, left side armory. Then they say, we want to clear security to make armory easier. So then they go to armory, then they go barracks, medbay, hangar. Now, I don't want to get into an argument in the comments about which buff rooms are more important where. This is just an example, arbitrary, don't dwell on it. Now this alliance is going to say, this is engineering here, let's clear engineering to make reactor easier on ourselves. So they do that, and now T.O.E.S, 2 on each side. So they clear all but 2 teams on each side of every room. Okay, now let's look at a second example. Let's dig down the left side this time. Left flight deck, left on bridge, left on reactor. Now we see under us is engineering. Well, we don't value engineering as high as we value security. It's a race, so our attacks are limited in the beginning. We're gonna full clear reactor, and then we're gonna full clear security, and then we'll do the buff rooms. Right, so we'll go armory, hangar, barracks, medbay, in whatever order your alliance thinks is best in the matchup that you're currently doing. Well, now engineering is not touching anything, so it just falls under T.O.E.S, and then we do it same as before, 2 on each side. Now guys, you see I'm showing slot 7 and 8. That's just because I'm lazy with the paint program that I'm using. Really, it's not necessary to be the last 2 teams in each room. The goal offensively is to have the 2 quickest matchups left in each room to allow for the fastest possible clear. Let's look at an example of that. So just quickly, you see in flight deck 2, it's slot 2 and slot 8 that's left. Let me go back to that for a second. Slot 2 and slot 8 that are left. Now slot 2 was like a 300k Sinister 6. We purposely didn't attack that team until we got to the last slot 8, and then what we would have done is judge which teams are the fastest to take out and go from there. Now you will see there is a bunch of slot 8s that are left, and that probably just means say in reactor, slot 5 here and slot 8 were left, and somebody who had a big enough team to take out slot 8 took it out before the last energy drop where the race occurred. So let's talk defensively with T.O.E.S. For defense, you want to have the largest, most difficult team in slot 8 of the room you're defending. This ensures that your enemy has at least one long matchup that they're going to have to deal with, and they might possibly lose. So the current longest matchups, Infinity Watch, Heroes for Hire. Both are going to take about 2 minutes regardless of power once the defending team is around 500k. So let's look at an example of that. Now this isn't my real slot 7 and 8, I just put them there as an example. So no matter what, say they hit slot 7, say they had my wave 1 Avengers left in slot 2, well they probably would clear Black Order, and then they'd be left with the Infinity Watch regardless, which is going to take them a while to clear. So let's look at a real example of T.O.E.S in action winning a war. So you'll see both teams are at 1100 here, and the last free energy for this war is about to drop. Not the last free energy, sorry, this was the 3rd energy or 4th energy. It drops. Every single available team is being attacked. At our level of play, we called our shots before. We said, hey, as soon as the energy drops, I'm attacking this team. You'll see I'm doing a 300k punch down, and speed is key here. So even in T.O.E.S, you need to attack very fast. So what I'm basically going to do with my team, not that it matters too much, I'm going to kill Blob, I'm going to put ability block on Doom, and I'm going to hit auto so it finishes quick. Now the rest of the people attacking right now are doing something similar, because we all started attacking and we see that they're attacking too. So already 40 seconds on like a 300k punch down. So obviously Doom does take a little bit of time, but he's not the longest team to fight. And then you see below here, Chase Danger says, I'm waiting for potential cleanup. Not to spoil anything, but if a single person lost their fight in this war, we would have lost. That's how close it came down to. That's how important T.O.E.S was, because we actually had more teams to kill than they did. It showed 1132 to 1150, but they actually had an extra room cleared on us because we still had, or they still had reactor to clear, and we cleared just the way that bridge and reactor affected. They actually had one further room on us, which was 4 less fights they had to worry about, or more. So there you go. It took me 1 minute and 3 seconds on a giant punch down, and you're gonna see all the teams just start falling within that 1.5 minute mark. So just think right now, if I had lost or I had combat canceled, really bad idea during this time, you would have had to double this time. Now let's look how close that would get us to the end point of this war, as well as how long it took the enemy to clear us after we cleared them. So we're up to 2 minutes now. They're actually in the lead, and I'm going to say right now, they've been at the last team they need to clear for a while in reactor for a while. And I'll show you the team that was and why we won this war. So we're up to 2 minutes and 10 seconds. 2:15. Very close. We got 2 teams left. They're still working on that last team. 2:22 we finished. And that's because the teams we were facing were not as difficult as the team this individual was facing. They finished 6 seconds after us. So any loss or any more difficult team really could have swayed how this war went. And this was the final defensive team that we had in reactor that held. Heroes for Hire, with the 5th Minerva, I guess that probably doesn't matter. Any 5th would have been just as efficient here. And Heroes for Hire just takes a long time. It took this person about 2 minutes, little less than 2 minutes and 30 seconds to clear this Heroes for Hire at 600k. And that's why we won. So defensively for T.O.E.S, you really want to make sure that 8th slot is as big as possible, and offensively you want to make sure the teams you're leaving are as small as possible. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that explanation of T.O.E.S. I hope it helps you in your alliance. If you haven't been using T.O.E.S, maybe you can start. Maybe you can win some wars if they're as close as ours was right there, where it's like a free energy drops. Hey, this war is going to be over in seconds as soon as that energy drops. Let's make sure we're in the right position to win. So without anything else to say, if you like this video, like and subscribe. I'll have more videos out, and if you want any war specific videos done in the future, let me know in the comments below and I'll get to those as soon as I can. But until then, peace.